I'm John Woods from the Woods Farm. This is my submission to the International Quarantine Car Show 2020. This is a Replica Kubelwagen, which is a Volkswagen vehicle from the Second World War. It is built on the chassis of a 1974 Volkswagen Thing. I built this vehicle entirely from scratch in my own home garage. I started 3 years ago. Started with an old Volkswagen Thing that I found in a field. I pulled that vehicle out, tore it completely down, right down to the chassis, rebuilt everything, and then I started building the body on top of that chassis for the Volkswagen Kubelwagen. The Volkswagen Kubelwagen is a pretty iconic vehicle from World War II used by the German Army. It's a military off-road vehicle that was designed by Porsche, and it's based on the Beetle chassis. So when you see a Kubelwagen, it's basically a military version of the Volkswagen Beetle. And you can see a lot of the features that make the Kubelwagen unique, right down to the shovel mount. The clamp for that I fabricated right from scratch. One of the big iconic things and that you notice with Kubelwagens are the ribs in the bodywork. It has a very cool set of suicide style doors, which is very interesting, just like the original. So this vehicle is completely drivable. All the wiring works, turn signals, brake lights, horn, everything is working, and it's legal to drive on the road. This vehicle is a rear engine vehicle, just like your everyday classic Beetle. Features the 1600 cc dual port motor that you see on the later style Beetles from like the 70s. So this technically qualifies, I guess, as an engine swap, because the Kubelwagen would have had a much smaller 1200 cc engine, a very similar flat 4 type of engine though. Because it's an off-road vehicle, it has integrated tow hooks, crash bumper, and this one has a heavy-duty pintle hitch, which you use for towing stuff like anti-tank guns and military trailers. Being a rear engine, there's actually a small storage compartment in the back here. Basically, this serves as your trunk. The interior, the seats are made from actually boat seats from a small boat that I used. All the dash is custom built. The speedo works. We've got turn signal indicator, light switches, indicator lights for oil pressure, and the generator, which all works. This is a 4-speed manual. One of the interesting things about the Kubelwagen is the fuel tank is actually mounted under the dash right over top of the passenger's feet. And the fuel tank, you actually access that from this port here right on the front of the hood. Another iconic thing about the Kubelwagen is the spare tire is mounted on the hood. There is actually no access underneath the hood for the vehicle, just you have your spare tire stowed there. The front windshield folds down, and you can drive it in that configuration. And eventually this vehicle is going to have a canvas canopy top, convertible top that goes on top. So we have a lot of fun driving this vehicle around the farm and up and down the road. It does pretty good off-road. It's got heavy-duty off-road tires, really good ground clearance. It's not a 4-wheel drive, it's only 2-wheel, but it's such a light vehicle, it does really good just with the off-road tires. We use it at reenactment events and other activities like that as well. So it's a pretty unique vehicle to see. There's not a lot of replicas in Canada, for that matter in the US. So this is my submission for the 2020 International Quarantine Car Show, replica World War II Kubelwagen built on a 1974 Volkswagen Thing chassis.